The annual commemoration of the Khojaly massacre is of deep emotional significance to every Azerbaijani citizen.
The reason I came here for is the Khojaly tragedy that took place 26 years ago. I have also lost some of my relatives. It is my duty to come here and leave flowers.
In 1992, as the Soviet Union dissolved, Armenia saw an opportunity to expand its territory at the expense of rival neighbor Azerbaijan. The war that subsequently broke out between Azerbaijan and Armenia would lead to one of the worst massacres of the 20th century. Khojaly, nestled within the borders of occupied Karabakh region, was an Azerbaijani settlement of about 7,000 people. On February 26, 1992, Armenian forces supported by the Russian Army's 366th Motorized Infantry Regiment advanced into Karabakh. The result? 613 people killed, including 106 women, 63 children, and 70 elderly. A further 1,275 civilians were taken hostage. Within one night, Khojaly, one of the oldest settlements in Karabakh, was razed to the ground. Some managed to survive the massacre by escaping into the surrounding hills and forests, eventually making their way through sub-freezing temperature onto safety. They say Armenian soldiers stacked the bodies of women and children in piles and mutilated their victims in the worst ways imaginable. Here in the settlement of Arjay Kent, very near the Armenian and Azerbaijan border, we speak to some of the family members who survived the Khojaly massacre. They've erected a small memorial to that massacre. Many of their family members, fathers, and mothers were killed by the Armenian occupational forces. We speak to these survivors as they tell us their harrowing stories of survival.
My wife was 40 years old in Khojaly massacre. She said, "I'm Russian. They wouldn't touch me. One of us should survive." But I said that they are fascists. It wouldn't make a difference for them. She came with us first, but later returned back home in the halfway because her father was sick. She said one of us should survive for taking care of our daughter. When some of the Azerbaijani hostages came back, they said that she hanged herself because of the terrible torture. 26 years have passed since the Khojaly genocide, but every night I still see her in my dreams.
Many were the only ones from their families to survive.
So many people have been killed in front of my eyes. Besides my brother, my auntie's son was martyred. They also cut off my cousin's leg. None of them were warriors. All of them were civilians. It's very difficult to talk about it. So February is a horrible month for the Khojaly people. Even if we want to forget, we cannot.
The Azerbaijani government has launched a Justice for Khojaly campaign calling upon world leaders to recognize the massacre as a crime against humanity and to bring the perpetrators to justice.
We want justice. We want to return back to our homes in Khojaly, in Nagorno-Karabakh. We don't want anybody else's land.
But on the 26th anniversary, justice for the victims and survivors of the Khojaly massacre remains distant, with Armenia continuing to occupy nearly a fifth of Azerbaijan's territory.